Hi, I'm Tony Staunton, Irish bartender out of Chicago. After years of drinking, I decided to take a year off. So as I begin my journey, I decided to ask fellow bartenders what they do to stay healthy and avoid the industry hazards of the bar business. Welcome to Wide Awake 52. Graham Essex, welcome to Wide Awake 52. Thank you for being here.
It's good to be here.
How you doing? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Give me your bio, your GrahamEssex.com.
Born and raised right here in Chicago. Lived in Wicker Park. Bartended a bunch of little spots around the area. Right now I work with PJ Wagner out in Northcott, and I'm doing stuff with Mike Finnegan at Play Kitchen and Cocktails.
Oh, nice. That's the old egg room.
Yeah, old leg room, old room 7.
I did a summer there many years ago.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of people pass through there too.
Oh, yeah. So you're a younger guy. I mean, I can pick your brain.
Sure.
So what do you do to stay refreshed in the industry? Because I find, being 41 now, I'm not exactly, the most smoothest guy in the world anymore. Because I'm just, or I always find that with more demanding guests, you always try and get your younger colleagues to, because they're more enthused and they're refreshed. They're kind of like, hey, how are you? Oh, you want to try this? They're jumped up about it. So I'm trying to get back to that. So how do you? What's your reset button to stay enthused? What do you do to kind of maintain, obviously professionalism, but to maintain a certain degree of enthusiasm?
I always assume that I know nothing. So I'll learn a lot every time I go out to either an event or on the clock, and I try and take something away every time I go out. And so it's another, it's unfolding another layer of a puzzle. And so I try and read a lot when it comes to liquor or liquor, beer, or wine. I'm a real sponge for information for that kind of thing. So I hear it. Reading is one way to do it for me, but I understand it way more when I have a hands-on and tactile experience, especially if I can build a cocktail with something, or I can learn about it from physically seeing it. So if I go to a whiskey tasting, I always take notes and try and figure out what I'm missing, what I know, what I don't know, and how I can apply that to a future interaction with a guest. In college, I got a degree in education and music, or education and social studies, and I did a little stuff with music there as well. But I did a month of student teaching out in Minnesota, and that was interesting to say the least, where I taught World War I and early America to a bunch of sophomores at 8 and 9 in the morning. And so I remember one day I had this very crystallizing epiphany, really. I was staring over my class, and there's 25, 26 kids, and none of them want to be there.
Kids, you were a kid yourself. How old are you at this point?
I'm 24. Kids.
So how were you teaching? When you were teaching the class, how old were you?
I was 22.
And these guys were what? How old were they?
14, 15. They didn't want to be there. They wanted to interact with their friends. They're tired. They're going through puberty, so their body clock is all messed up, but they have to be up and out by 7 a.m. and they're learning about something they don't care about at 8 or 9. So I can't make... I personally find it really interesting, but there's only so much I can do to make this subject material interesting for these kids who are just trying to stay awake and stay engaged in their own society. And so what I've found that transitions very well is when I was working at a bar. Everybody wants to be there because they want the product that's behind you. So when you find a guest who the level of service always depends on the kind of guest you come up to your bar, but they all want something from you. Whether it's just a beer and a shot to be left alone, or they want a whole story about why this whiskey is the way that it is, or why this tequila is the way it is. And so some people want the whole show, some people don't. But it's rating your guests because they're engaged because they want to be there. And so it's a willing audience, a willing participation thing. And so that's always really engaging for me. It's trying to find my gear to best suit the guest that comes to my bar top. And it's a teaching moment to the guests or to myself to figure out where they really lie on what they want.
So you said you're a musician. You play, you're a string man, you play guitar?
Yeah, so before I started bartending and before I got into this industry, at my college, I started a band. I was very big on the choral scene over there, so I would sing in the choir. I worked and helped run a contemporary worship service. I'm not religious, but they were paying me, so I helped run the music aspect for that.
So do you just play now to relax, or?
Yeah, I try and do at least an hour a day if I can, just as a way to keep my skills sharp, keep my head
I was talking to a
focused.
chef recently, and he told me that when he was opening his restaurant, couldn't sleep, so he would go home and play his guitar in the nighttime to kind of just take his mind off things.
Yeah.
Is that something that you do? Or
Yeah, it's a huge. I can't really do it at night because I'll end
the
up back.
neighbors don't want you to turn
Yeah,
on your
it's-
Marshall stack
it-
and start
Yeah, it's-
doing a fucking.
It's 3:30 or 4 in the morning, so like if I turn on and start
Sure,
really
the
going
neighbors
at
gonna
it,
be like, dude. Yeah.
yeah. So I'll do it before work.
Anyway, well, Graham, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate you coming through. Thanks
Thanks
a lot.
so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.